And if our studio looks a little different tonight, that's because it's set for our ComixVision show. And tonight our guests are Buddy Scalera, the person who started off ComixVision, and Mike Straniere, the technical executive director of the show. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Andre.
Wanted to bring you into the studio tonight so you could tell our Woodcliff Lake viewers something about our other program, ComixVision. So, Buddy, why don't you tell us how it got started?
Sure, Andre. ComixVision is a program that we produce here out of WCL. And about 3 years ago, I decided to come up with a TV show about comic books because I had been writing and working in the industry. Comic books have a lot of different industry magazines, including this one here is Wizard and stuff. There are certain price guides and different magazines. And I had been working in the comic industry, and I was getting all these interviews with all these great people. And I thought, let's put together a TV show. So I approached Mike, who's a club member here, and I was sort of a member here, and we just came to you and asked you if we could put on a show.
And Mike, how did you get involved with it? Was this Eddie's approach to you, or did you know something about comics before?
I knew nothing about comics. I mean, to me, comics was, Daffy Duck, Donald Duck from when I was, 4 or 5 years old. I ran into Buddy about maybe 2 years ago.
But of course, we went to high school.
We went to high school, went to St. Joe's, graduated '85.
St. Joe's
in Montville.
Yeah, do you know anybody that went there?
That's where I went.
We had a reunion right here.
That's right.
And we just, we sat, we talked, and I told him what I was doing. I was working in TV, doing some film work, working as an editor. And then we just, didn't really talk. And then he calls me up out of the blue and says, I have an idea. I said, okay. It's about comic books. And I said, comic books? What are you talking about, comic books? He's like, no, really, comic books. And then we sat, we talked, he gave me the idea, and I said, this has definite possibilities. And that's when I said, let's run it by Andre. He's the guy with all the equipment.
That's pretty much how it happened. Yeah, Mike's got it pretty much down. I mean, he really brought the whole show together by getting all of this knowledge that he has of TV and filmmaking, and then your combined knowledge with, like, Bill and Bob. I mean, it's incredible what you guys are able to do with such a small studio. People don't realize how small things are. And I mean, you guys really do a tremendous job.
We're in a basement.
We built a set. We had somebody design it. She's an advertising executive,
like that, yeah,
and she put together our set and stuff. And I grouped up some of my friends that really don't know anything about TV. Chris Jaworski, he doesn't know anything.
They're all comic book guys.
Yeah, just comic book guys. I got my girlfriend, and she pops her hand through the desk during part of the show.
Well, I know that the couple of shows that we've shot already, you've had different subjects on, like a family pick, retro pick, and so forth. How much involvement do you yourself have in comic books?
Well, comic books is a real big passion of mine. Some people have sports, some people have television or movies. For me, it's comic books. So I'm very well versed in the industry. So when I give a family pick, this way family members know that there are certain comics that are for kids, certain comics that are not for kids. And we try to gear the show towards a family mood. And I think that that's important because there's not a lot of family programming out there. And then we also do different picks, like we'll show people certain comic books. I'm going to hold up this X-Files comic book based on a TV show that's a popular show.
The X-Files.
Yeah, somebody might enjoy the show. They might not realize there's a comic out there because comics don't get that much press. So our goal with the show is to inform people and to, more than anything, show people that comic books are an art form, because literature is an art form, art is an art form. You put them together, and it's another art form. It's just a different way of telling stories.
Now, besides just being an art form, I know that you've shown certain comics that are worth a lot of money. What about the actual collecting aspect of it?
Well, we have a collecting expert on who can tell you each month what comic he forecasts might be worth money, and at the same time, there are certain comics that are worth more than others. And we have a guy named Matt Simpson who is very, very educated in comic book collecting. Sometimes we'll tell you which comic will be worth more money than another one, because people have this idea that if a comic book is old, it's automatically worth money. Well, that's not necessarily true. No. If an antique is old, it doesn't make it worth more money. There's a collectible value to everything. And we're here to tell you a little bit about that. For example, we sometimes give away comics that are worth a lot of money. This comic I'm going to hold up here is a special giveaway. If anybody writes into the show for any reason at WCL Studios...
We're surprised. We've been getting...
We get letters.
Fan mail. We get letters. And
this particular comic here is worth $45. Just have it.
And we give it away.
Yeah, we give it away because we want people to have comics.
Very good. Besides the actual interviews that you do in our studio here, I know you've done some field shots, field shoots that have been on the show.
We've been down at, was it the Philadelphia Convention?
Right, the New York City Convention.
The New York City Convention.
Mike and Matt direct those.
Also, the one in the Meadowlands, was it about a month and a half ago? We were down there.
Yeah, and know who we met there?
Stan Lee. Now, like I said, I don't know Stan Lee's like, who's Stan Lee? I mean, again, know nothing about comics. Stan Lee created, let me get this straight, Spider-Man, not the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
He did the Incredible Hulk, okay, and a whole bunch of
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Basically, almost all of the comic book characters that you hear that are from Marvel Comics, including the X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, the Incredible Hulk, they were all created by one writer and his fellow artists. And this guy is really at the center of Marvel Comics. He's now the publisher.
Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I think you've got a well-rounded show, and you know, here at our studios, WCL-TV studios, we're glad to put on a show which has a real specific interest like this. And I think that's what cable is really all about, is putting on a show that can be about a specific interest. And ComixVision is a show which covers an area very deeply. I enjoy coming to the shoots on each of the shows. It's very good. Now, we do want to tell all of our viewers that the show can be seen immediately after our Woodcliff Lakes Tuesday slot on Cablevision, and it's shown Tuesdays, 6:30 on Channel 33, and we hope that everybody not only watches our show, our Woodcliff Lake, but then stays
Well, of course,
tuned.
everybody does watch our
That's
Woodcliff
it,
Lake,
exactly,
you know?
right.
Well, interestingly enough, the Our Woodcliff Lake, although it's produced by a lot of the same people, you know, there's a lot of the same club members, we're not nearly as polished as you guys. we sort of make it up as we go. I see Bill Silverman like running with the camera like, what are you doing? You know?
We have zero budget. I mean, the budget consists of $15, which goes for coffee, bagels, and juice every Saturday morning, and what you see behind you.
Yeah, which
which also costs $15.
No, I put this together for $100. I don't know if you could start a studio on $100 ordinarily, but you know, you guys supplying the cameras and stuff.
Well, we're glad to have you as part of WCL-TV, and we're happy about the progress of the show, and we want to make sure that everybody that watches our show watches your show, and vice versa. And maybe you'll come down later on another time on our show and give us an update of what's been going on.
We would love to. Wouldn't that be great?
And if anybody's interested, just write to us here at the studio. What is it?
What's the address here?
188 Pascack Road, Woodcliff Lake.
Care of ComixVision, and maybe we'll send you some comics.
Oh, we'll definitely send you free comics. Anytime anybody writes in, you write in a dozen letters, we'll send you a dozen comics.
I mean, some person wrote in, I don't know if you can see this, please send me comic books and posters for free.
It's
true.
true.
Cover up his address, but
I mean, that's pretty funny because people know.
we send it to him. Yeah. At least somebody's watching.
Right.
That's the main thing. Somebody's watching.
Okay, thanks, guys. We'll see you again.
Thanks, Andre. We appreciate it.